Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Alfred here again. So today we're going to cover a topic which I get asked all the time. How do you add value to a property? It's a common question everybody asks. So today I'm going to explain to you 3 ways in which you can add value. Might add a bonus as well. But yeah, 3 ways in which you can add value to a property. So guys, if it's the first time here, if you like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, that would be much appreciated. But yeah guys, let's get straight into it. So tip number 1, guys, the true way to add value to property is to add floor space. So floor space meaning from the form of an extension, a loft conversion, a side extension, any sort of conversion where you're adding more space, land to the property truly adds value. When the valuer comes up and turns up to the site and says, what have you done to the property? You can clearly demonstrate that, look, this wasn't here before. We've added this extra piece of space to this property. So even if it's compare it to next door, even if next door's at its ceiling price, it's not, do you know what I mean? It's not the same. So therefore there's room for argument for an increase in the valuation. So I feel like that's a true way to kind of add value, and you can't really be challenged unless, I don't know, for whatever reason the land is condemned, then they're saying whatever you've done doesn't make sense, and it's not going to increase the value of the property because it's just not worth it. But generally speaking, in all areas of the country, adding floor space increases the value of the property. Tip number 2, guys, is through a planning gain. You hear a lot of people talking about going through planning. It is a headache to get it, but it's worth its paper. Once you've got planning, which allows you to add more floor space or develop on the land, that alone can add value to the property. So again, just going through planning, obviously you have to understand what the likelihood of getting the planning gain is. So it's not just about just submitting a planning application and then getting a planning gain. There is kind of understanding in that area what's the likelihood of getting that planning approved. So again, to kind of get an idea is you can look around the area to see what's been accepted, and you know if you're proposing a similar scheme, you're likely to achieve it. Again, it's not guaranteed, but the council will take a view on that. And also with a precedent already been set, it's likely that you get the planning gain. But that's another true way to add value to property. Again, you can't deny that you've now got permission to, for example, if you had a piece of land which is just bare land, the land is worth a price, but now you've got planning gain to have 4 houses on that land. That alone has an increase. Similarly to if you had a property and you've now got permission to do, I don't know, 8-meter extension, a side extension, a dormer, L-shaped dormer on the rear of the roof, or even the front of the property, this is creating massive value, and therefore just selling that as a flip on to the next developer who wants to actually go out and build it out, there's a gain in that, because again, you've gone through the trouble of getting the planning gain, which isn't a guarantee. So that signature from the council that says, yes, you're happy to go ahead for you to build this on the site, that's another way of adding value. So tip number 3 to add value to property is not one I'm really keen on, but it's a strategy people use. So it could be a cosmetic refurb. So cosmetic meaning property that looks old, tired, needs a bit of TLC. So you going in, painting the walls, changing the carpets, the flooring, new kitchen, new bathroom. I think you've got to be careful. Some areas that works really, really well. I think in London, you can probably get a good margin on that. In some areas, you can go in and do that and still not get an uplift in the price, because they're like, this is the ceiling price of the property in this area. So even if you put in whatever gold taps, whatever fancy thing you want to put into the property, there's no real value add. So you just got to be careful. I think the caveat here is to understand the market, to see if there's a growth opportunity by just literally going in and renovating the property to make it look more modern, make it look new. But generally speaking, to be honest, there will be some sort of uplift. It might not be as big as the other ones I've mentioned in the past, but that would be the third one, I would say. So guys, the bonus one, this is lease extensions. So again, quite common with flats. So obviously with flats, you usually get 100+ years that comes with the flats. Obviously as it starts going down, it becomes less desirable. So when you've got to a point where it's like maybe 50 years and maybe you're struggling to get lending because the amount of lease left on the property is too low, by just simply going in and requesting the lease extension to bring it back up to the top of 100+ years, that alone add value, and that again could be a flip sale where you've now increased the value of the lease and therefore you're reselling that back on the market with the new lease extension. Because again, so you're basically you're getting a premium because someone isn't having to go through that trouble of contacting the owner, finding them, getting the lease agreed, paying the fee, and then getting the lease extension done. So that's a bonus one I would say as well. Obviously, it depends where you're in the country, how much actual value that would increase, but generally speaking, it does give you some sort of increase in value. So guys, I hope that's been a benefit. I know it's very, very high level, but you can go away and research on those things I've said. But these are true ways of increasing the value in their property. So I hope you got value out of that. As well, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and share the video for me if you feel like this will be of benefit to somebody else. And if, more importantly, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. But yeah, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.